Every now and then on FirstDown Playbook, we get a question from one of our coaches that we decide just to really slow down, answer their question, but also break it down to where it helps, a lot of coaches who are probably having a similar, problem or question. So the question today was a youth football question, and I'm in edit mode here. And the question was, they were having trouble stopping a double wing youth offense, 11, 12-year-olds that run power, sweep, and a counter back to the other side. Now, uh, this will be what we talk about today will be applicable to a double wing where the tackle is not over in an unbalanced look, but that's exactly what they were facing. So I want to first just show you the double wing offense that this coach is referring to. Now, what's happening here with this double wing is that they're bringing a tackle over. All right, they're bringing this tackle right here. I'm just bring them over, and now what you've got is you've got a very heavy side over here to the offense's right. Okay, and then you obviously have what we would refer to as a nub side on the weak side. Now, I'm just going to flip it, all right, like you can in FirstDown Playbook here, and take a look at this. So, once again, now from the defensive perspective, the question was, what can we do to stop this offense? And the three plays that this offense is running is a sweep, and I'm sure the sweep is either going to be a handoff or the quarterback is tossing it out here, and you've got down, 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 pulling guards, all right, is what the coach indicated, which is very common in youth football, where you're going to have your linemen that have a defender on them blocking on to down to inside. And then you could even have the backside guard pulling, but that's not as likely if you've got an unbalanced formation. They also were running a power. So my guess is that the power is just really the same kind of play, probably pulling both guards here, all right, or maybe just, pulling the backside guard, getting double teams, and coming downhill. It's a little harder to run a power out of this set right here unless they're going to toss it to the will and then have the fullback be a kick-out block. But the point is that you're going to have pullers here. Right now, and then the final play that they were running is a counter play to where now as the defense starts overloading to the strong side over here, they're running a counter, all right, to where either the fullback is here and this wing is coming back, or maybe you just running it with the fullback starting, all right, here and then coming back, that type of thing. So let's take a look at this, because once again, the coach said we're going to go to a 5-3 defense. We were a 6-2 last year. So I've got a couple suggestions, all right, three real things that jump out. I'm going to go over here to another deal. Now, he's talking about running a 5-3. The 5-3 is a good idea, but the thing I want to look at right here is where are the defenders that are weakest and getting hurt when you play an offense, a youth offense, and they're essentially pulling guards. They're trying to run the sweep, the power, or the counter back over here. All right, now, I get it. This is a balanced formation. We're going to go take a look here and move the tackle over in a second. All right, so when I look at this right here, the first thing I look at is like, are you giving them angles? So you are. Your tight end has angles to come down. Your tackle right here has an angle on the mic. You've got a guard that can block down. You've got, really, they can double team the nose back to the will. You can pull this backside guard right here, and really there shouldn't be a whole lot of problem with that if you're on the offensive side, because you've got the tackle to cut off this tackle, on and on and on. So the first thing that we look at are, how are you going to take away those angles? How are you going to keep the guards from pulling? All right, you want to make it hard for the offense to pull the guards. So I'm going to come over here and give this coach and any coach wanting to run an odd defense, a 5-3 defense, all right, a suggestion, if you're playing a youth offense and they're pulling the guards, this is what we call in First Down Playbook, and it's already drawn up, a 5-3 bear look. All right, so here are some of the advantages, and I'm going to move the tackle once again over in a second. So the number one advantage that you have by running a bear look, all right, and you're playing people that pull guards, if they're going to pull a guard either way, if this guard right here is going to pull across center, all right, or the other one, you make it very hard for them if your tackles, your three techniques, are actually reading the guard. Because what you should do is coach this three technique right here, outside shade of the guard. When that guard pulls, they should shoot the gap, and they should be a penetrator. Because if you look right here, there's really not enough people to block. The center can block back on the three technique. Pretty hard for a young center to get there when the three technique is way over here. The guard could block down on your nose, all right, if you got that situation. But now if they do that, all right, there's nobody really to take this three technique right here, right? Yeah, if you keep blocking down, you're going to have a sandbacker, all right, that's going to be free. At some point, somebody's going to be free on the front side if you do it like this, okay? So that's why we recommend that if you're going to run a 5-3 and you're playing an offense that's going to pull, play a 5-3 bear. Once again, if they pull this guard, have that tackle shoot the gap, all right? That center will likely never touch them on this right here. And once again, you're actually going to free somebody else up on this side over here. Okay, now, the second thing that we talk about is that if you're playing a offense that is going to pull guards and you're in the 5-3, this player right here, all right, the Mike backer. Now you see right here, we've got him keying the running back, and that's fine. You can key the running back. But if I were playing a 5-3 defense, I would line up, all right, and play this bear look right here. You've got this Mike backer completely covered up. You let this backer right here, you just tell them, just take this off of it. You're going to key the guards. You're going to look at a triangle right here between this guard, this back, and this guard. And that's going to tell this Mike backer everything they need to know. So if I see a guard across this way and I'm this Mike backer, I am flying, all right, inside out to the C gap over here. I don't need to be in the A. I don't need to be in the B. We've got that covered. I want to get to the C, and then I'm going to be over here with the Sam, an end in the crease, and the corner outside. If they pull the other way, I'm going to have the same situation. I would put my best player at the Mike backer position right here. Let them read everything and make 30 tackles in the game. I would put my most physical player at this nose right here, right? And my quick, instinctive players at the tackle here. All right, so that's the second thing. So I'm going to cover up the guards, and I'm going to really free my Mike backer up to play football all day and make a lot of plays. Now, the other thing that we see is that sometimes when you get in a double wing situation right here, you've got what we call a crease player. You can get by with it quite a bit because we like to widen that crease player, particularly if that wings go block down, and tell them just to penetrate. But you can still get yourself in trouble with that because if there is no penetration right here and the wing actually blocks down on that end, what ends up happening is this. You end up getting out here, and let's say that this end gets blocked down and there is a puller. Everybody blocks down, and this puller, either the front side or backside guard, come around, and now you've got a big guard on this tiny little corner right here. And the corner, they're taught to keep everything inside. This defense is not drawn to scale, but when they keep everything inside, they end up widening, and now the back ends up having a crease where you've got a down block, down block, down block. So the one thing that we sometimes will recommend, not always, if you're getting hurt with guards pulling is, and I'm going to take this defense right here. All right. Now, what you may want to do is you can take and widen your end. I know it seems counterproductive, but you can widen your end right here and then play your corner right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to let this end out here, all right, when this wing blocks down, all right, and now let me tighten in it a little bit, but when the wing blocks down, first of all, they don't really have anybody to block down on. They only can block out, all right? If they block down, you just teach this end to squeeze right here, and they're going to set the edge right here. A bigger player, more physical player. And when that guard comes across, now you've got a better matchup. All right, and what you're essentially doing, you're turning everything back inside, once again, to a Mike backer and a Sam backer, all right, who are playing football. The Mike backer particularly, like I just talked about. So that's our third thing that you can do if you're playing this defense, is just switch your assignments up out here on the edge to where you're setting the edge with an end instead of a small corner. All right, now what you are doing when you do that is you're giving up what we call, once again, the penetrator, but sometimes that's worth trading out for if you want to do that. All right, now, at the point now, we're going to get to where we're going to move this tackle over like the coach was having an issue with. All right, so this is our final point right here. So I'm going to widen my tight end and my wing, and I'm going to move that tackle in here. All right, so now let's look at what we have here. What the defense is likely hoping happens is that you end up playing this defense exactly like you're looking at it right there. Okay? You could get by with that, all right, better with this defense than you could some, just because you still have, all right, the ability right here to read pullers, all right, and you can run your 3 techniques through and that type of thing. But in general, if they don't make that play back here and you've got an extra player and you don't adjust, all right, you're going to get yourself in trouble here. Now, 2 ways that you can adjust. You can adjust with your first level defenders, which you really are adjusting with your entire defense. And so that would work to where what you're doing when you do that, you're telling this Mike backer right here, you're going to recognize an overset, and now this guard becomes the middle of the defense. So I'm going to make them red right here so you can see what's going on. So your whole defense right now is going to line up like that guard is the center. All right, so I'm going to widen my Sam out here. And they're still going to play that tight end because the tight end is eligible. This tight end is eligible. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to widen my end out here. Widen my corner. Once again, this is not drawn to scale on the field at all. All right, but now what I've got is I've got a situation to where I still got a wing, an edge out here, but a short edge. All right, so I can take this Will backer, move them over a little bit. I can take my Mike backer, keep them covered. Let's see, what do we have and what do we not have right here? Now, if they're still running, pulling the guards, and I got to assume that what they're doing is they're still going to probably pull this backside guard on the power or on the sweep, or maybe pull the front side guard. But if they do that, they still have the same situation. If they pull that right here, all right, now they've got a situation to where you've really got this tackle right here lined up to where they should be able to actually beat the center. If they're going to pull this guard right here, this nose can get in the hip pocket and follow. If they pull the backside guard, you really don't have anybody to do what we're talking about. But if they pull the backside guard, you already have more than enough defense over here. And you also, once again, have everybody covered up here, single block, that really they should have a good chance of actually fighting through. And then your Mike backer, once again, is playing football. Okay, now, so that's the one way that you can adjust. You can adjust everybody over one player if they do that. And the other way is if they're still pulling the guards and you want to keep your configuration in here with your 3 inside guys, they kept it simple. Once again, they're still just reading the guards and pulling. If somebody pulls, they shoot. Then all you would do is just, all right, adjust your linebackers. Just adjust your linebackers over. And you see we've got our sandbacker up more already. But I would just line my Mike backer up on my 3 technique tackle right here. All right, and I would cheat my will backer over here all the way to the A gap. Because now, once again, from the Mike position here, you understand that if they pull somebody this way, okay, the Mike backer is already cheated this way. So he's going to be, setting over in good position. So if the Mike backer will just look through, all right, and kind of once again, just see the same triangle from over here. But if they pull that guard, he ought to beat him to the punch. This tackle blocks down. Now you do have someone that can block down on the Mike, but now the Sam ought to shoot. All right, there's not enough people over here if you adjust for the offense, if you adjust to that unbalance. Okay? All right, now, if they decide to come back to the weak side, all right, or the nub side as we call it, because there's not as many players, and they're probably going to run the counter like I talked about, where they start something this way and run a counter back across, or, that type of thing. But whatever they're going to do, this coach indicated that they were going to pull the guard back over here again. Same deal. All right. So if you're in this situation right here and somebody pulls, they have the same situation where you can shoot. All right. That tackle right there or to shoot, a counter play is going to take longer. All right. So if they're going to fake one way and then come back, this player right here ought to be able to create penetration and wreak all kinds of havoc on that play. And then once again, your backers second level should be reading this and understand you got a very short edge over here. It should be very hard for them to get anything going if there's any penetration. So once again, it's not we're not in this coach's league or playing the team he's playing, but our suggestion is whether you're playing an unbalanced set or not would be to come back and line up with if you're going to play a 5-3, take these 2 tackles right here and drop them down inside and play them as 3 techniques, because that makes life a lot easier, all right, if you're sitting there and you want to read these 2 guards right here as they're pulling and kind of read this triangle. These 4 players right here can make life miserable on an offense like that and also make life very easy for the rest of the players.